Hello, friends. I am going to begin this series on respecting men with the original template that we all have for man, which is father. Father, father, father. Whew. Can we just take a moment to acknowledge that so many people across the world, perhaps including you, have grown up with a strained, hurtful, sad relationship with Father. So, an invitation to bring grace to this conversation, as I invite always, and invitation to be willing to receive something new here, especially if this is something that is a challenging topic for you. So, when we're born, we are born of a seed from Father and an egg from Mother. And I know that so many people are born into families where their father was either absent or abusive or very hard on them or not really present. Okay? And I also want to acknowledge that there are many people who are born into families where their fathers are very present and loving and attentive and provide for them in all ways, financially, emotionally, materially, spiritually. So, the conversation for maleness, masculinity, man, father, right off the bat has so much. There's so much to unpack because each of us have a different story, a different relationship with man, with the idea of man, of a man, of maleness, and of father. So part of the reason I'm beginning with father is because this is what has transformed my life as a woman, to repair the relationship with my own father, to come into a place of authentic forgiveness of the things that I felt resentful about for a long time, and to actually create a relationship with Father, capital F Father, that goes beyond my mortal father. So, if you've been watching my channel or listening to my podcast, you may know this already, but I did not have a relationship with God for a long time. I had a perception of the universe, and maybe I used the word God for every once in a while, but for a long time I really just kind of prayed to all that is. I had this perception of just God being everything and being in everything, which is beautiful and is still part of the cosmology of my belief or the world of what the divine is for me. But it was coming into relationship with God as Father, with the Father face of God. And it's said another way, with the cosmic masculine, right? That cultivating that relationship has transformed my life and my heart and my relationships with men more than any other thing I have done. More than any other thing I have done. And I started to really step inside of this idea of relationship with God the Father, even before encountering Christ or the Bible or going to church, which I started to do in 2025. I just started with Father. I just started with the idea that I have a cosmic Father, that there is a force beyond my understanding that had all of this happen, that had all life happen. And having a humble heart enough and a willingness and a vulnerability enough to come down to my knees and actually develop a relationship with that essence of Father God was very confronting at first, but so deeply rewarding. And it continues to be. And why this has to do with respecting men, respecting maleness, is that there is a particular experience of Father that I believe most of us can separate from the particular experience of Mother, right? That both are beautiful and needed and necessary. And man and woman are different. Father and Mother are different. They serve different functions. They are complements to one another. So we are welcome to experience all shades of expression from Mother, and all shades of expression from Father, all shades of expression from our experience of woman, and all shades of expression from our experience of man. And generally, there are qualities that most people associate with one or the other. So I see how in my life there were ways that I ran away from the idea of Father, that there were truths about myself and the way that I have lived and the way that I treated myself and the way that I conducted myself, that if I were being honest with myself at the time, if I imagined at the time having a Father, a cosmic Father, Father God, looking at my life with me, that he would have loved me, and he would have not approved of how I was living because of how he knew it was harming me, how it wasn't in the highest service of who he wants me to be as a woman on this planet. So I hope you can track this with me, and if you're having trouble, it's okay. I invite you to just keep listening, and thank you. There's a way that Father shows up for so many of us. If we imagine a benevolent Father, a Father who cares about his child, who wants the best life for his child, right? That he is loving, that he is protective, that he offers leadership to that child, that he offers correction to that child in the way that a mortal father with his child walking next to a road and his child attempting to dart out into the road into traffic, the way that a mortal father would grab his child and say, "You don't do that," out of a sense of love and protection for that child, right? So to come into this place for myself where I know that a cosmic father figure, that Father God, is that for me, is offering that correction. If I'm willing to listen, that is in service of me and my life as his daughter, as his beloved. So what I will offer is that a woman can go her whole life. She can go her whole life being angry at her father and angry at the idea of father. But for a woman to step outside of her experience of her mortal father and create relationship with Father God as a father who loves her and wants the best for her, that woman is going to have a different life. So another reason why this journey has been important for me is because I have explored schools of thought that say that we all have masculine and feminine within us. And I have found tremendous value in understanding that we each have masculine and feminine aspect within us. And that it is important to be in right relationship with those aspects. But it was never enough for me to rely upon the idea that my inner masculine come and protect me. That, yes, having a relationship to that inner masculine, to the experience of the masculine is important, but it has been my cultivating a relationship to an, you could say, outer masculine. That is the force of God, of Father God, the force behind life itself, that cares for me, that loves me, that protects me, that has my best interests at heart. So that it doesn't feel as though everything falls on me. Because I think that one of the things that I have struggled with in my life and that I've seen other people struggle with is the idea that we're doing this all alone. And when we are able to zoom out and have this widened grace for ourselves and this perspective that allows for us to understand that we are one being in a world of beings, in a world of consciousness that is connected in wild, beautiful, mysterious ways, right? It has brought me tremendous comfort and helped me rest into myself as a woman and as a feminine being. to have a relationship as one who is beloved by that, by God, by a creator. And so as a human woman, as an imperfect being, as an imperfect woman, coming before Father God, the cosmic Father, and granting him respect, being willing to grant him, or the idea of him, if having relationship is still too hard to grasp, the idea, bringing respect to the idea of a capital H-I-M, him, changes the way that I listen and the way that I act in my life. If I'm listening for what would a father that I respect have to say about how I am acting, how I am speaking, how I am seeing the world, how would a father that I respect, who loves me deeply, respond? How would he respond? What would he have to say about what I am doing, the ways that I'm acting, the ways that I'm behaving, the choices that I'm making in my life, in my relationships, in my work, in my choices? So, whew, this feels like a really important place to begin, and can be a really hard place to begin for so many people, for so many women, for women and for people, for men, for people of all genders and walks of life. To restore relationship with the father principle is to restore relationship with our own heart. Is to repair the wounding in our own hearts. So I feel I'll bring this to a close for now and offer an invitation. What does respecting Father look like for you? Can you experience yourself as being supremely beloved by capital F, Father? And what does it look like for you to grant him respect? What might that shift in your life? What might that open up in your life? What might become available to you in your life from being willing to respect and honor Father? Thank you for listening. I always love hearing what people have to say in response to the things that I share about. And if you have questions, I'm sending you so much love and gratitude.